Welcome back everyone. Now we start writing real code. In this video, we will build the core layer, the foundation that every other layer depends on. We will create our app constants, define our failure types, and build the helper or utilities. Let's dive in. The core layer contains the code that share across all the other layers. Think of it as your toolbox constant you use everywhere, error types that any layer might throw, utility function that format prices or the show messages. By centralizing these, we avoid duplication and make changes easy. Want to change the text rate? One place. Want to add a new error type? One place. Let's start with the constants. We have to first go to the lib folder. There we have the core folder. Inside that we have the constants. We will create a class with the static constant. Let's add app information first, and we will name it as a app underscore constants dot file. Here we have to write class app constants. Here we have to write two variables for the app information. First one will be our static constant string app name is equal to retail POS. Then we have the static constant app version. App name and the version will be useful for displaying in the UI and debugging. Then we will going to have for the text. Here we have to write text, and we will create one variable static constant text rate, and we can put 7% text here, and we can change according to our requirement. Then we will put for the pagination. These will be like how many items we have to fetch from our API calls, and we will adjust based on our need. We will going to have two variables. First one will be our static constant in type of products per page. Then we will have static constant in type of categories per page. Then we have to create the UI constants, and we are going to use the UI spacing and the styling constant here, and this will ensure us the consistent design throughout the application. Right here /UI constants. First one will be our static constant double grid cross axis spacing, and we are going to use 15 here. Then we have the static constant double grid main axis spacing, same 15. Then we have the static constant double border radius, and we are using it 12. Then we have the static constant double card elevation, and we are using it. Then we have the color values as a hex integer, and we will use the int instead of the color, so this file has no Flutter import. Keeping it pure dot, we have this /colors, and here we have the primary color. Then we have the secondary color. Color you can change according to your requirement. We have this one for the primary, and for the secondary we have this one. Then we have the static array color, constant int array color. Then we have the static constant success color. After that we have to put here payment method with the emojis for the visual appeal, and this will be easy to add or remove payment option from the app constant itself. And here we have the /payment methods, and this one we have to going to put here map string, and this one we are going to put here name and the emoji. First one will be card, and we will put the emoji as a card here. Then we have the cash, digital, and the gift card here. We will put those here. After that we will put the status string here that match our WooCommerce API values, and using the constant prevent the typo and make refactoring easy. And here we have / order status, static constant string order status pending. Then we have the completed. After completed we have the static constant string order status processing, and we have to put it lowercase to match with our WooCommerce API. Same for our stock status also. We have this stock status. First one will be our stock status in stock. Then we have the out of stock. Then we have our stock status back order on back order. And this one we will remove this underscore here also, and this one we will put here on back order. So now our app constants are ready. What we did here, we have added for the app information, texts for the pagination for the UI constants, then we have the colors, payment methods, then we have the order status and the stock status all. So now we will create our failure types, and for that we have to go to our core folder. Inside that we have the errors, and here we have to create the file here, failures.tat file. Here we have to import the equatables for the comparison of our failure objects, and we have to write an import package, and here we have to create the abstract class failure extend equatable. Then we have the message here, then we have the constant here, and here we have to override with the object props with this message. And our base failure class is abstract, so you cannot create a failure directly, only specific type, and it's extend equatable and has a message property. The prop scatters tells equatable which field to use for the comparison. So now let's create a specific failure types, and here we have to write class server failure, and we will extend with the failure, and we have to write here server failure with the parameter as a message here. So basically server failure when the API return the error status code. So now we have to create the same for the network failure also, class network failure, and this will be when there is no internet. Then we have the cache failure, class cache failure. So cache failure for our local storage errors, but we are not using cache in this project, but it is good to have here as a structure. Then we have the validation failure when the data is invalid, like trying to create an order with an empty cart. Then we have the authentication failure when the API credentials are wrong here. Now any layer can throw these type of failures and we can handle them appropriately in the UI. So now we have to create our helper utilities, and for that we have to go to the util folder, and from here we will write helpers.tat file, our helper class with the static utility methods. This one import the Flutter because some helper needs the build context, and we have to create a class helpers, and first method we have to create a static string format price, and we have to pass here double price, and the currency we have to pass here as a optional here. Currency is equal to whatever the currency you have to use, that you can put here, and from here we will return currency plus price dot toString as a fix. So the former price converted double to a currency string. Suppose we have this 12.5 became the $12.50. So the default currency is $, but you can pass other also as per your requirement. So now we have to create one more method here for calculating the tax amount. We have to write here calculate tax amount. We have the static double calculate tax. We have to double amount, and we have to pass here double tax rate, and we have to multiply this amount with this tax rate, and we have to create one more for calculating a total with the tax. Calculate total with tax. We have the static calculate total, and we have the parameter as a subtotal and the tax here. From here we will return subtotal plus tax. So the tax calculation helper will be the simple math, but having them are here keep the logic centralized. Then we have to create here for that generate order number. Generate order number. We have the static string generate order number. We will have this timestamp here, and here we have the ORD. We will append it, and here we have to put the timestamp here. Dot toString dot substring 8. So we have to generate a unique order number from the timestamp. In the production, WooCommerce give us the real order number. So now here we have to create a function for the show snack bar, and that will be used for display a message at the bottom of the screen, red for the errors and green for the success. We have to put here show snack bar. We have the function here static void show snack bar, and we have to pass here the build context also. Here we have build context. Now here we have to import our Flutter material dot file. So we have one more variable that is error, and that will be used for showing the error message. In the case of error, we have to make it true, else we have to keep it default one as a false here. Is error false. And here we have the scaffold messenger of context show snack bar. Here we have the content, the background color on the basis of whatever this variable is. Then we have the duration here, and we are using 3 seconds. After that, we have the loading dialog helper, and that will be show the spinner with the message, and then it will be hide it when it's done. We have the show loading dialog. Here we have the build context, then we have the message here. By default, we are showing a loading. Then we have to show a show dialog, and we have to make it this barrier dispensable false. Then we have the alert here. Then we have the circle progress indicator, and width we are using as 16. And then what are the messages we have to show here? We have to create another function for hiding it. We have to put here hide loading dialog. Here we have the hide loading dialog navigator of context dot pop. After that, we have to create couple of more utilities for the safe JSON parsing and the text truncation and all. Here we have the parse JSON safely. Here we have the static map string dynamic, and we will name it as a parse JSON, and we have to pass the JSON string here. Then here we have the JSON, we have to use here JSON dot decode, and from here we have to import here dot convert, and in the catch we have to return here null, and this one we have to make it as a nullable. After that, we have to create one more function, that will be last function we are going to create here, truncate text. Here we have the static string truncate text. We have the text here, the max length, and we will check here if the text length is less than equal to max length, we will return the text here, else we will return the text dot substring with the 0 with the max length, and we will put here dot 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 here, and we have to put it like this way, and here we have dot dot dot. So that's our helpers class completed. So we have built our code layer. So we created the app constant with all our configuration values, failure classes for the type error handling, helper with the utility functions. So these will be used throughout the application. So you have noticed how app constant and the failures are the pure Dart with the no Flutter imports. That's the good architecture. In the next video, we will learn about the dependency injection with the getit and completed our service locator. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching a video.